Hey folks, welcome back to Fallout 4. Apologies for the delay in uploads, but I've been having some weirdness with my computer lately that I was trying to fix. Still not entirely convinced the damn thing won't blue screen on me at random. It's a long story, I'm not going to get into it. In between uploads though, before everything went tits up, I did get some work done and broke the game's economy just slightly. We've got 221,000 caps now, which is 40,000 caps more than we needed. And I did that all by trading purified water. Essentially, what I did was I upped the merchant's ability to buy things in Diamond City by investing in their shops with one of the high ranks of cap collector, and then repeatedly skipped forward 48 hours at a time, sold as much purified water as I could, and rinsed repeat. The game actually breaks fairly hard when you try to trade large amounts of caps and won't give you the correct amounts of caps at times. So it took a lot longer than it should have because the game was actually giving me less uh, per sale than it was telling me it was going to give me. Like, let's say I was selling fucking 3k worth of caps at a time, or not 3k, like 30k worth of caps at a time. It would tell me you're going to get 30k for this sale and then give me like 5. So it took me a while to do this. However, what this means is we are prepared to do all of our fucking surgeries that we've got to do to become an actual space marine. Let me load in Dr. Woody Rell's medical procedure tape, and I will take you through everything that we're going to add for ourselves. First things first, rejuvenation. We're skipping this because it literally just cures wounds, radiation, disease, and addictions. We don't need that. Bionic Eye, we're also skipping because although some Space Marines do have bionic eyes, we don't need the targeting sight. I find it incredibly annoying, and we don't need the recon or night vision because we've got both of those just for free. We've got thermals and night vision already. I'm aware recon sight is a little bit different, but our armor does that for us. Sensory enhancement we don't need because it increases VAT's hit chance. We can just skip that because we don't fucking use VAT. Synthetic liver, yes, we're going to grab that for the poison damage resistance. Space Marines are immune to poison, so this is the closest we can get. Auto cure of common diseases, yes, we're also grabbing that. Space Marines are immune to most common diseases. Synthetic kidney we will get for we're skipping because we don't do chems. It prevents addiction, but we don't need it. We don't use chems ever. Synthetic heart, yes, we're getting because it gives us HP and rad regen, which we desperately need, and also Space Marines have 2 hearts. Force multiplication, obviously this would normally come with our power armor if it was proper Astartes power armor, but we don't have proper Astartes power armor, so we're doing it via cybernetics. Neural interface. This is going to be our stand-in for the Black Carapace, which Space Marines would normally have to interface with their power armor. It'll give us 3% extra XP, a throwing art for grenades, and 2 times duration on fusion cores, which doesn't fucking matter. Synapses enhancement will increase our reflexes, give us plus 10 action points per rank. Space Marines have increased reflexes over humans, so we're grabbing this. That's lore accurate. The subconscious processor increases our reaction time, lowers our damage received by 2% per rank, so 6% total. That's in line with Space Marines' increased reflexes. Leg augmentation will lower our sprinting cost and let us move and jump higher, which is also accurate for Space Marines. Would normally be part of the armor, but our armor doesn't do that, so cybernetics. Structural enhancement will enhance our skeleton. Space Marine skeletons are enhanced via an organ in their bodies that secretes a substance which essentially does things like fuse their ribs together into a giant, massive armor. So this we're also getting, it'll make us stagger less, give it a little bit extra carry capacity, but remove falling damage entirely, which is nice. Subdermal plating, another part of our Black Carapace. The Black Carapace does actually provide some damage resistance and ablation for the Space Marine if they take a hit. So this will stand in for the other part of that. Nextly, the Stabilizer Platform. Space Marines have massively increased physical strength, so they have much easier time aiming weapons. They don't deal as much with recoil because the armor counteracts that, so this is going to stand in. This is going to provide us with a gyroscope, which will provide us with that effect. Strengthening system will increase our melee damage and allow us to ignore percentages of armor in melee, which, yeah, Space Marines have improved muscles and such, so this will stand in for that. Striker plates gives us hand-to-hand damage. We're gonna skip this because we don't ever do fucking hand-to-hand. I don't feel like spending the money. Synthetic lungs. Yes, we're grabbing this. This will replace our real lungs with synthetic ones. How our Space Marines have fucking 3 lungs. So we're grabbing this because this will stand in for our 3rd lung. And that's about the list. So I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to go through every single one of those surgeries. It's probably going to take me about 20 minutes because I have to sit down in the chair each time and just get each rank one by one. And I'll be back in a moment for you guys to show you the results of all this fucking surgery. Hope you guys like morphine. See you in a sec. Alright, folks, that took a good chunk of time, but we're now officially a Space Marine. The amount of perks that we've got off of this are ridiculous. You saw what they all were already, but it's a hell of a list in the Pip-Boy. Let me show you. So I just go down to the bottom of our perks here. All of these souls perks are our new synthetics. You know what they all do already, but to suffice it to say, we're pretty difficult to kill now, as if we weren't before. And I was thinking about it, and I realized we essentially went through all the stages of becoming a Space Marine. In the very beginning, we were just a normal human guardsman. We went through the scout stage when we were in our Mjolnir armor doing stealth stuff. And now we're a full Astartes. We've got all our implants and all our cybernetics and all our genetic stuff, and we're fully a Space Marine. So the question now is, what's next on the agenda? What would I like to accomplish next? Well, I'd like to finish turning our heavy stubber fully into a heavy bolter, which we still need a couple of things to do. But in terms of major goals, I'd like to hit up the next DLC, because we did a modded thing with the machine and her, and we also did the mines down there that was horrible. And the next DLC that I would like to poke at is Nuka World, I think. I think that's where we're going to head next, is Nuka World. Because that's fairly long. It'll take some time. I'd like to get it going. And this is how it starts. We've got to listen to Nuka-Cola family radio. So let me turn our radio sound back on, which I believe should still be off. Turn it to about there. And we will turn on the radio station, and we'll see if it plays at this distance.
Don't forget to bring your empty bottle of Nuka-Cola to get $15 off at the gate. So hop aboard the Nuka Express and come and see the whole Nuka family while you still can.
The Nuka Express is accessible through the Nuka World Transit Center. Parking fees will apply. Price is subject to change due to end of season.
Right.
Nuka World, Nuka Express, and the Nuka-Cola characters are all registered.
God damn it, I was just about to start talking. So, as you heard, we need to go to the Nuka World Transit Center, Nuka World Transit Center rather, and that all the way over here on the left side of the map, which you may or may not be able to see very well because everything is yellow and this map mod is not really designed for power armor. Regardless, we need to get to over here. We've got a couple locations fairly close to that we could just fly right to, including the Lonely Chapel, where we found the Ranger armor so long ago. So I am going to pause the recording and do some fucking transit, and I will see you guys when we're approaching the Nuka World station. I'm also going to double check what we've got to do left to turn our heavy stubber into what I need it to be. So, see you in a minute. Hey guys, we're back aboard our airship for a second. I just wanted to show you this. Denton the chicken has taken up roost underneath our recycler. Presumably because it's pretty warm under there. I just thought you guys might want to know how he's doing. He's still with us. See you in a sec. Hey folks, we're just landing at the Federal Ration stockpile, which is about as close as I could get to the Nuka World terminal. We're being followed by a fucking assault bot. Let's pull out the heavy stubber and deal with this bitch. Speaking of which, we've got to get rank 3 heavy gunner and either find some gold or get rank 3 demolitions to turn this thing into a proper bolter. Also, apparently there's raiders here. And another vertibird? Oh, that's just what... Yeah, there's another vertibird here. Goddamn. Right, let's fight our way through these fucking raiders. Test out our new abilities a bit. Oh yeah, these guys can't fucking hurt us. God, we move so quick now. Let's see how high we jump. Jesus! Okay, we actually trigger the power armor landing when we jump normally now. That's kind of horrifying. Okay, gotta go back into first person because all the power armor footstep noises are incredibly annoying. Why is auto loot not working? There it goes. Okay. Auto loot was not doing anything. So good news is we can bring our airship to Nuka World once we manage to get there. We have to arrive first, but we can bring it with us. And my plans for Nuka World, which I'm sure you're wondering about just because of what the setting is, are as follows. We are going to milk the raiders for all they are worth. We're essentially going to proceed through the storyline as far as we can without actually disturbing the Commonwealth itself. And then we're going to murder them all. Where's my fucking chainsword? Oh, you should run. You should really run. Although at this point, I'm not sure they could outrun me if they wanted to. Whoa! What's with the slowdown, game? Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Hold on a sec. Oh, I stopped. What the fuck was that? Kind of a physics glitch, maybe? That was really uncomfortable for a second. Just one second. I'm gonna check something. Okay, I'm thinking that was just Fallout being Fallout for a moment. I'm not entirely sure what that lag was. It was very odd, and I hope it doesn't happen again. But, I don't see anything wrong with my temperatures. I don't see anything wrong with anything in particular. I think it may have just been some lag. So let's head toward Nuka World Station. With our extremely fast sprint speed now. Fun fact, there have been several writers of 40K who describe Space Marine long-distance travel as something more akin to this. Just constantly leaping forward as opposed to sprinting. Which I guess makes sense if they've got powerful enough legs to do that. I won't deny that it looks silly as fuck, though. What's up, bitches? We got a frag grenade handy? Oh yeah, we do.
Violate protocol and enter that transit station before we're set. I'll have your head.
So we just mowed down all of the gunners. Yeah, they're all fucking dead. That was extremely quick. Boy, I'm glad we had frag grenades. Unequip, please. Thank you. Oh, apparently there's one left. Clever. 2 left, even. Come on, poke your head out. Alright, I'll go up there and get you. I'm not gonna let you live just because you hide. My internet just went out. Fucking Comcast. I swear to God. So, on the topic of surgeries, I have cerebral palsy. Many of you probably don't know this about me. And I figure I'll tell you guys about some of the surgical stuff that I've had done in my life. This is absolutely horrifying, so buckle up for it. Botox, yeah, that Botox, was originally developed as a supplemental treatment to help people with cerebral palsy. Because the form of cerebral palsy that I have, it affects my muscles mainly, causes them to tense involuntarily, and causes muscle tightness. So Botox was meant to essentially force the muscles to relax. And I was held down as a child and had hundreds of injections in my legs while I was awake. Yeah. The reason I bring this up is because most Space Marine augmentation surgeries in 40k canon are done while the patient is wide awake. And a lot of them involve the Mechanicus Adeps peeling the aspirant's flesh away from his body to put things like the Black Carapace in.
Jesus, shit. They're gonna die.
I don't care.
Well, that wasn't very nice. Killing an innocent man.
Nothing innocent about a raider.
Ruthless son of a bitch, aren't you?
No, I just have principles.
Tell you what, you use that password you got off old hard to unlock the control room there and power up the Nuka Express. The monorail will take you to Nuka World. If Captain killing are your thing, I got the offer of a lifetime for you.
Oh, killing is definitely my thing, bud. You're just not gonna like who I decide to kill. Harvey there does nothing but spin you a sob story to try and trick you into going onto the train so they can trap you in a fucking death trap. Because they're raiders and they think they're clever. However, there's no such thing as ambushing in Astartes. I sat down the other day and I tried to rewatch the Ultramarines movie. Oh my god. It's just so poor. It's not even close to what, like, it's not even close to lore accurate. And I looked and I was like, who wrote this? Because this is garbage. These Marines aren't even talking correctly. They don't sound like Marines. They don't, they don't use, the prayers aren't correct. They're saying things they shouldn't say. Dan Abnett, my favorite 40k writer and the writer of Eisenhorn, which in my opinion is the greatest 40k book series, wrote this fucking garbage. I have no idea how that happened. How the fuck did Dan Abnett write something that terrible? I'm still baffled by it. I don't understand it. Because he gets, it's as if the writer had only passive knowledge of 40k, and the only explanation that I can think of is he was writing through the filter of bureaucracy, and what I mean by that is that Games Workshop was going for mass appeal, and so they ground the edges off of 40k to try and make the movie more palatable. Yeah, welcome to Nuka World. It's a fucking hellhole. And what I mean by that is, for a good chunk of the beginning of the movie, the word heresy is never said. But then you get something like a Marine carving "Kill the Heretics" into his bolter shells, which is fucking badass, but it stands at odds with the rest of the movie. Or you get a servitor offering a prayer while he's attaching a purity seal to a Marine's armor, and instead of saying war gear, which is the appropriate term, he says battle gear, which isn't correct. There's a bunch of little things that are wrong.
So you better
Hi, future murder victim.
Gage. Porter Gage.
I don't
Truth is,
care.
that guy Harvey you offed was just a setup to draw you into our little death trap.
Oh boy,
But if
this
you
is gonna
somehow
be
make it
fun
through
for
alive,
me.
I'll give you the details on my offer. In the meantime, have fun and put on a good show. I'll be watching.
You better be. You're gonna experience it firsthand before too long there, Gage. But there's a bunch of other shit in that movie that's just odd. And I mean, it treats the Ultramarines as if they're the premier Marines. They're better than every other chapter, which of course, it's an Ultramarines movie. So yeah, it's probably going to do that, just like any other media involving the fucking Ultramarines. Also, we leveled up. I gotta level up a bit. Things like when the lead Marine, whose name I can't be bothered to remember, is praying to the Emperor on the Thunderhawk on the way in.
Attention all my favorite undesirables out there. Did you have a notice?
I'm trying to talk about lore, you fuck.
Meat to run the gauntlet.
Oh, you people have no idea what's coming for you, and it's adorable. But when he's praying to the Emperor in the Thunderhawk in the beginning of the movie, when they're headed down to the Imperial Fist's shrine that they're trying to ascertain the situation of, he says, "The wings of Aquila will protect me." Not the Aquila. Aquila, as if it is a being? As if Aquila is a proper noun, which it's not. The Aquila is the emblem of the Imperium. It is the symbol of the Emperor. It is not a being.
And he's off. Let's hope our latest prey can
I can't wait to shoot you in the face.
inspiration from our previous victims.
It's just little bits of things that are just off. Those turrets actually kind of hurt. Wow. And our health regen is slower than I would like it to be. Well, I'll have to rely on my reflexes then. Which is fine, because I'm a fucking space marine. Oh, there was one of these. That's why I took so much damage. Okay.
Oh, our new Vic sure knows how to dodge some bullets. Good thing that's not all we got in store.
Yeah, there was no dodging happening, bud. I'm gonna disarm all these traps because they give you a bunch of very nice little bits and bobs as well as experience. And I had gotten through the movie before, and I had watched it a couple of times and enjoyed it, and coming back to like, how did I enjoy this? Because it's just so incorrect in several places. It's very odd. It felt like there were two different writers writing it. One who knew what he was doing, and the other who had no idea what 40k was beyond a passing familiarity. And it didn't seem like Dan Abnett at all. I would pay quite a bit of money for a look into the creation of that movie and the meetings and the talks and discussions that went into making it. Because I'm very curious about the level of executive meddling that was involved. This is a master level door, which will allow us to skip a large chunk of the gauntlet. So I'm going to bust it open if possible. Oh, we're close. One thing our Astartes cybernetics didn't do is make us better at lockpicking. Oh. I went the wrong way. Amazing. The funny thing is, because we're so high level in terms of sneak, we actually can't trigger most of these traps. Is there supposed to be a door here? Oh, am I just supposed to go up the stairs? Yeah. I think this breaks if I try to walk across it. Although I could be wrong. Ugh. I really need to dump points into lockpicking at some point. And yeah, I echo the YouTube commenters.
Don't let that get you down. The gauntlet's still got plenty in store.
You think you're cool, but you're not. and I can't wait to kill you. I echo the YouTube commenter who was baffled that this was a fully funded GW production, meaning the Ultramarines movie. But Astartes, the YouTube series, which you should all check out if you haven't already, was not. It was a fan work. And is about 1,000 times better.
It's decision time. All doors lead to death. Some just a little slower than others.
The left door is the one you want to go into there. We don't care about
Someone brought their
radiation.
rat away, 'cause our little Vic is about to get roasted like a squirrel on a stick.
Radiation doesn't bother me.
Someone thinks he's a real tough guy, eh? But the gauntlet ain't through with him yet.
Please, this isn't even a challenge. I'm walking through it while reviewing a movie. You people are fucking pathetic. Oh, yeah, so I could just hope that one day we get a proper 40K production that's actually well made. I mean, we've got that in Astartes, but it's broken up, and it's fairly short, and it's not even close to done, obviously. By not done, I mean it's not finished. Like, he's still working on it, not that it's poor quality. But anyway, I hope that one day we get a fully funded 40K production that is that good. That actually has the fucking GW name on it. Why isn't my mouse lining up with these fucking... I don't care about this terminal. I don't know why I'm hacking it. So much volume of fire from those terminals that I was actually physically pushed back for a second. It wasn't me walking backwards.
Call me crazy, but I think our Vic's got something against fun.
I've got something against you wasting my time. That's the only thing I've got.
Not our victim's best moment, but unfortunately not his last.
So this is another small little maze that you just gotta walk through. There's a few traps. You can actually jump over most of this. I can jump over most of this.
Time for things to get dangerous. See if he survives what's next.
Let me... Yeah, that helps. Okay. Bits of that machine gun were wiggling. A few explosives are back there that we don't really need, and this entire hallway is filled with, or this tunnel here is filled with mines and turrets. Although, unfortunately for them, we don't set off mines. Because we're that good. Kill that Protectron for a little extra experience and some...
Is this some kind of joke? I knew we should have put turrets in there.
Yeah, you should have. They wouldn't have done you any good, but you should have put them in there. These raiders aren't very smart. Which, I mean, they're raiders, so of course not. I'm grabbing all these frag mines to sell later. God, how many mines did they lay in this fucking tunnel? Yeah, we don't trigger mines because we've got a high rank of sneak. Right, you guys ready for some bullshit? Watch this. Oh yeah, boy. Astartes reflexes, baby.
What the hell? God damn it! That door's supposed to be boarded up.
Get fucked. What, you really thought I'd fall for that? So, I've been spending some time thinking about what to play after I'm done with Fallout. I think next up, I would like to do MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, which I actually have gotten to work on a modern system and can run and can record and have streamed before. So I'd like to do a playthrough of that, because it's not a terribly long game, but it is fun. I'd like to do the PS4 Spider-Man game that came out 2019, like a year or two ago, because that's a very quality game. And I've also been looking at I Divine Cybermancy, which
Sweet.
it exists.
Time for a little reality check.
Oh, I fucking hate this room because you just start gagging constantly and it's disgusting.
Gas kills him.
Let me see if I can remember how to get through this. Fuck off. I hate gagging noises. I hate gagging noises so fucking much. I actually, fun fact, I almost choked to death a while ago on a piece of steak.
Nice.
Like, the nurse even said if it had been an inch or two, or not an inch or two, like a little bit more to one side, I probably would have died. I woke up one morning and I just decided I'm gonna have some fucking leftover steak for breakfast. Some steak tips. That's a big fucking rad roach. Jesus Christ. And we had some steak tips the previous night, so I had some leftovers. And I was eating my steak, and a pretty much unchewed chunk of the steak just slipped right into my throat. And, yeah, it lodged there. And I couldn't force it down with water. I couldn't get it to swallow down. And let me tell you, there's no more unsettling feeling in the world than to take a drink of water, a gulp of water, and to feel the coldness of that water travel down your throat and pool on top of something and not continue down. Because you can feel it pool. You can feel it stop. And it is just the deepest sensation of, oh fuck, something's wrong that I have ever experienced in my life.
That fresh air in while you can.
Our bolter makes quick work of these fucking swarms of bugs. You know, I've got a theory, because we're still taking damage from things.
Damn, look who's in the home
Can I finish a sentence without you trying to do radio announcer bullshit over top of me? You pathetic little fuck. Oh, I can't wait to put a bullet in that fucker. As I was saying, I think we've looped around. And, actually, we've got so much damage resistance now that the game isn't sure how to calculate it. Because we were taking less damage in the Mjolnir armor before we got our power armor. It's a little strange. Where the fuck are you? I know you're wandering around on top of the cages.
Welcome to the gauntlet, asshole!
Damn it. Lost him. Let's finish this.
But yeah, I'm not entirely sure why we're suddenly taking way more damage. I did up the difficulty before, but that was way earlier on. I haven't changed it since. I don't know. These guys might just be, because we've leveled up a bunch, they might be significantly higher level than they were. Anyway, it's been about half an hour. So next episode we continue and we beat that man there. And we make him regret getting in our way. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I will see you next time. Stay safe. Good hunting. Goodbye.